What's up guys, it's Christy from Munching Strength. Welcome back to the beginner series, and today we're going over the deadlift. And like every other lift we've gone over, I preach the setup so much. So we're gonna start with the setup and how we approach the bar. So we have our barbell right here in front of us, but where do I put my feet, okay? How wide, how narrow? So a good rule of thumb is to start where exactly you would jump. So if you're gonna go do a big jump, I'm about right here. You're not going to be jumping out wide like this or too narrow like here. So I'm going to go about my jump width. I'm going to come up to the bar, and I want the barbell, if I'm looking down, to be over mid-foot, over my shoelaces. Don't be too close or far away, because that's going to make the lift a lot harder. So we come here. Now your feet can be straight forward or slightly out, whatever's comfortable for you. If your toes are slightly out, it might make it easier for you to press your knees out, which is important with the deadlift and leg drive. So we're coming to the bar right here. I want you to actually feel, just like we did with the squat, yourself screwing your feet through the floor and you feeling that activation. The deadlift is all about tension, and if you don't have tension at the bottom of the deadlift, you're gonna have problems at the top of the deadlift. So we're screwing through our feet. It's almost like we're doing this on the floor. We're not letting our feet move. So we're pressing out as if there's a crack between the floor, and we're pressing out here, and we want nice tension in the glutes, okay? Now, once we bend down and get the bar, where are we gonna put our hands? You want it a little bit wider than shoulder width, about right here, grabbing like so. Now, if I'm too wide, you make it like a snatch grip. That's to make your body have to work harder, and it's to make the lift harder. Too narrow, your knees are getting in a good way. So kind of figure out, quickly if your hands are too wide or too narrow, all right? So getting down to the bar properly is actually very important, and it's basically using the foundation of one lift, which is a hinge movement. So we're gonna go, and I'm gonna show you the proper hinge movement next. All right guys, so the hinge, this is really important movement. If you don't get this down at the beginning, you're gonna have trouble in your deadlift. So this is the basic part of the whole entire deadlift movement, all right? So what a hinge is we're pushing our hips back and feeling a stretch in your hamstrings. Notice how my core is nice and tight, my spine is nice and neutral, and I was able to touch the back here. A lot of people, when they go down to pick something up, they round forward here and they just pick up with their back. So if we can get our whole entire posterior chain involved, lifting this will be a lot safer, easier, more efficient. You'll be able to lift more weight. Okay? So I'm gonna stick my hips back, feel the stretch. You can do this against a wall at home until you touch, and we're gonna grab the weight, and that's how we're gonna stand up. Okay? So that's using the hinge efficiently rather than bending like so and being pitched forward. I'm going to send all that weight back, you'll feel the stretch in your hamstrings. So a nice little test is to get a PVC pipe. Just make sure your back is not rounding and you're getting most of the stretch in your hamstrings rather than your low back, is to hold a PVC pipe behind you and practice here. Practice being nice and neutral. Taking your butt back, touching, and back up. And you'll see soon, if you start to round forward, you'll see that bend in the PVC pipe. So try to keep everything in contact with PVC pipe. And back up. So once you have that down, then you are ready to pick up an actual weight. We want to make sure we practice that hinge movement there. So now that I showed you the hinge against the wall, we're going to hinge to get down to the deadlift bar. So we are doing our nice setup we just learned, screwing through the floor, hinging down, hands a good medium width. All right, so now I'm down to the bar. We don't want our butt too high, but if your butt's too low, you'll be squatting the weight up, and your butt's gonna rise before the barbell comes up. So I want you to create as much tension as you can on the weight going down. Start to feel the stretch and try to keep your shins as vertical as possible. Bring your butt down, and you'll feel that good, nice, tight starting position. All right, so that's gonna be my beginning position for the deadlift. So next we have to talk about how we get our lats engaged. So we need to lock this weight in. Our arms are just kind of like hangers holding that weight. We're not curling anything up. So we have to lock the weight in with our lats. And the way that we do that is we imagine we're bending the bar let's imagine this is the barbell, bending it this way, okay? But on my shins, it's gonna be like this, okay? Obviously, we're not like superheroes, we can't bend that steel barbell, but that's what you should be feeling like you're doing. So watch my lats. As I do that, I'm gonna bend and squeeze as I bend and squeeze that barbell, okay? So next, I'm gonna go do that with the barbell, be all locked in, and then we can actually press through the ground. So come over and see that. Nice and tight, we're gonna come down to the barbell. Grab nice and tight, pull up on the barbell, feel that little click, and then we're gonna bend that bar and squeeze, okay? Now, from here, we're gonna take a big breath and brace, and squeeze even harder. Now, bracing is a whole different thing. There's a lot to learn about it, so I'm gonna make a whole different video up on that. I'm gonna link you guys right up there, so make sure you check out the video after this video, but for now, just remember, that's when you brace. So we're down here nice and tight, and now all we have to do is push. You're gonna push the ground away, and then you're gonna squeeze your butt as hard as you can, okay? On the way down, especially at first, we're gonna control, okay? Later on, we can throw the weight down when we're hitting PRs and stuff like that, but we wanna make sure that your body is learning the movement, and the eccentric part, which is on the way down, is what's gonna teach your body and also grow your muscles. So, you're gonna hinge from here, keep your lats nice and tight, stick your butt back, come down. Once you get your knees, start to bend your knees a little bit more, keep those shins as vertical as you can, and then we repeat. Take a deep breath, lock those lats, squeeze those abs, and then push, and then again, control. You'll feel that stretch your hamstrings, start to bend your knees, and down, okay? So now you kind of have the basic information on how to perform a deadlift, and now we just practice, and 1,000 reps will make you an expert. Welcome back to the beginner series. Today we are working on bench press. We're gonna go over